I guess I'll do my take on Nick rekieta, not for the reasons that you probably might think. I mean, his adult activities is none of my business. He can do what he wants, but damn, he had 5 kids, 6 years to 16 years. I mean, fuck. What are you thinking? It's like Nick hit his midlife crisis. And again, I don't even want to bring in the swinger and the sex stuff, but the big question is who told on him? It come out that it was the preacher, but the truth of the matter was that the kids had complained to multiple teachers. The multiple teachers went to the leader of the church. I don't know if he's a priest or a pastor. I don't know what they're calling him, but he was definitely a required reporter. He had to report it to the police. So it wasn't Aaron. Aaron is the husband of April there in the middle. Nick and Kayla on the ends are married. I feel like Kayla, Nick's wife, is more attractive, but Nick had this thing for little April. And how do I know? How does anybody know anything about these details? Because Nick told people, and apparently April's husband, Aaron, is a radio person, and he's telling his side of the story. And I know how these things go. And again, what they want to do in their hot tub with adult time, I don't even think is relevant. It's that they got 5 children, 5 kids. They weren't changing their clothes. They weren't bathing them. Even Aaron has said on his radio show now that he was feeding them SpaghettiOs because they would come knock on the bedroom door and say, "I'm hungry." And Aaron has said that he is a piece of shit, low-life motherfucker for not calling the police and reporting the child abuse himself. Such a fucked up situation for such rich people to not take care of the children. But I do know about all the debauchery. It's going to be at the end. So if you want to know about it, it will be explained thoroughly. I started watching rekieta Law back during the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, Amber Heard, Johnny Depp trial. And after that, I disappeared for 6 months like a lot of people. And like a lot of people saying, I took off 6 months and I come back to this. It is shocking. Like I come back to it when I seen their mud shots. They're arrested. I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell is going on? And I seen him drinking on stream, which I thought was odd, but I don't know. Maybe that's just something super sophisticated, know-it-all lawyers do. They have a couple sips of whiskey. I don't know. I don't live that life. But what he did say about licking the bottle is what caught my attention, because I'm like, that is an alcoholic. I have never known nobody to lick the bottle after they pour their drink. And if you are that concerned about little drops, I mean, you get them bartender nipples you put on bottles. And you won't miss no drops. But for him to be counting drops.
From local support, has an inheritance, has a degree that gives him a good job. Nick rekieta is not the kind of man that's going to give a shit about 86 cents worth of liquor and try to be fiscally responsible with his booze. Sounds to me more like some kind of bullshit cope from somebody that's a little too much into drinking. That you just have to lick every fucking drop. And yes, I've seen a lot of people comment on his nose. I see it in the chat right now. Why is his nose so red? Well, there's this thing. Maybe you've heard of the band called Gin Blossom. But there's this thing that drinkers get where because their nose goes into the glass when they're drinking so much, it dries it out over and over and over and over and over again and creates a skin condition where it gets bulbous and red and super inflamed. And Nick Rekieta looks like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer a majority of the time that he streams because he has a fucking gin blossom. Because he buries his face into the fucking glass. But there's more. Let's watch.
Why do you lick the bottle? Well, if I set it down on my carpet and let the drips run down the bottle, then there will be liquor in my carpet. So if I just let drips go down the side of the bottle and I set them all down, I'm going to have a sticky, old fucking whiskey mess on the carpet all the time. That's terrible.
That's terrible. So first it was because it cost some money. And then it was because he doesn't want to make a mess. But I'd like to point you to a couple of things. Like how he's lying through his teeth. This was included in the police report when they came to, when they he used a battering ram to knock his fucking door down and then arrested his family. This is what they had to say. The important part's that second paragraph, that little standalone sentence. Charges say officers noted the dirty condition of the home.
Yeah, the home was filthy. Aaron went on his radio show and described it as having dirty clothes from the laundry room all the way to the living room. It's just a pile of dirty clothes. And in the living room and on all the furniture was nothing but clean clothes. And to hear Nick say anything about getting the carpet dirty, Aaron said in this $1 million home that the carpet would have to be ripped out of the whole house because it is so filthy. I mean, think about it. School teachers were reporting that these children had been wearing the same clothes for 3 days and they smell. Which is a total failure on Nick and Kayla, the wife. I mean, for both of them to be junkies. Drunk off their ass. So back to the 86 cents drops on the side of the bottle. I thought, damn, I know that's not right. That's way high. So I Googled. I had to keep breaking it down, but apparently in 1 ounce, which is a shot of whiskey, there are in 1 ounce 595 drops in 1 ounce. So in Nick's head, that 86 cents drop would come out of a bottle almost worth $13,000. And that's stupid. And in reality, that one drop, even if it is a $200 bottle, like Nick claims, which other people have said he's just drinking Jack Daniel's Green Label. I don't know. It's worth 1 cent. Because in a fifth of anything, it could be $5,000 whiskey, $10 whiskey. In both of them fifths, there are 15,089 drops. So him licking the bottle is fucking ridiculous. It's worth slightly more than a penny. I was telling a fib. It's worth 0.013. So I guess if you lick 4 drops, it'd be worth 5 cents, a nickel. Okay, if he licked 5 drops, it'd be worth a nickel. That's the logic of a drug addict, first of all. I don't know any alcoholics that break it down like that. I've never even heard that before. What a tragic case. He thinks he's making money by licking drips. He's like, I buy this $200 bottle, I pour my drinks, I lick it 20 times, I made my money back. This is the pre-alert for the debauchery, really, but I just wanted to let people know why this bothers me so much is because in my time, the internet didn't exist when I was little. Like, I would hear my uncle did this, or my aunt did that, or my grandfather did that, and there was no really details. But now with the internet, I cannot believe Nick took a picture and posted it on the internet of his wife naked, him naked, on the internet. He's got little children. It used to be like when these porn stars come out, you'd be like, well, what about your parents? How are they going to feel? Well, now their parents have posted naked pictures of themselves on the internet. Not to mention Nick with a whiskey bottle in his asshole.
One of these days, Rekieta's children are going to turn 18 years old. They're going to move out of his house, and they're going to have a story to tell if they want to tell it. They can tell it here. They can tell it anywhere.
Yep.
But when Rekieta shames his family like this, supposedly doing drugs in front of his children, bringing strange women into the house,
For the barn?
dishonoring, disrespecting his wife, going to the pure pleasure, anal fucking barn.
If you missed this, guys, we talked about this. Like, there's literally, we read all the reviews, all this stuff. It's a barn, like, where you buy sex toys, which, by the way, they have used sex toys as well. And you go to the back,
sex toys,
and there's people walking in and out of the booth and underneath the booth and just and shit.
No, so just think about this is.
Ugh.
You go there, they have dirty terminals that are encrusted terminals in the back of this sodomy barn where you pay money to watch dirty 70s on the terminal. But really what you're doing is paying to in the booth. And what you're really doing is paying to have all sorts of weird degenerate swingers, cuckolds, and other degenerate meth heads, fiends, your wife and you. Like some of the sex acts that were described at Pure Pleasure.
Oh, buddy, please.
4 different men this woman's husband's. This is where Nick Rekieta is spending his free time, folks. This is crazy.
Okay, so by the way, just real fast here, you know what's really funny about this whole situation too? We have been calling this, Ashton for longer, but we've been calling this since we met, actually. Remember when I was at your house with Surfer?
Yeah.
We've been calling this out forever. People have been, oh, you guys are moral F-slurring, and you're doing this, you're doing that, da-da-da. If you go to our clip channel, Kino Casino Clips, right? Shameless promotion, I know. But we've been following this. If you see our Nick playlist going through, you could see in real time our coverage
gets worse
and worse
and worse and worse and worse.
Every clip we go, he's hit rock bottom. He's hit rock bottom, like below. He's in the molten core of the earth now.
Like,
it's
let's
insane.
be real. Like in this recap, the guy went to Hedonism 2, which is a swingers resort in Jamaica, where it was Ebony Week, where the objective was to swing with black couples. They tried to hide that. It was only because of autistic people that came to light.
It's like the bathroom that they filmed in and shit.
Once it came to light, he eventually just decided, f it. I'm just going to do it all. So he's posting naked pictures of his wife.
Mm-hmm.
Posting naked pictures of himself and his wife on the internet for other boomer degenerates to off to.
And the bottle in the ass.
He put a bottle up his ass. And that's where we finally on this show were like,
okay.
No, you're not God. You're not a king. You're not above mockery. If anybody else put a bottle up their ass, they would never hear the end of it.
Yeah.
You put it up your ass, took a picture, and posted it to your most loyal supporters who supported you because you were lawman and family Christian man, not baldo man, not bottle up ass man. You were supposed to be the lawman, but you failed miserably. And then you kept doubling down on your degeneracy, doubling down on the baldo. For those of you who don't know, because some of you might be coming in and you're like, what the hell happened to rekieta? I don't know what happened. This man decided to put on the baldo. What is the baldo? The baldo is a for your balls. So if you're unable to get hard, even with the use of Cialis, Viagra, whatever, needle in your okay, you strap on a dildo to your balls in like a cage, like a wire cage, and then you're supposed to dip your balls into your wife's so that you can get a ballgasm. And this is something that the guy promoted. He did advertisements for it. And he told us all to wear the baldo.
Okay.
The guy also has a black man who comes over to his house, Drexel, to his wife, and Drexel brought over his own baldo.
And left it on the night table?
And left it on the night table in Nick's house.
A used baldo.
A used baldo.
But
the black bull
no, we're not
was
joking.
on the white. No.
We're not kidding.
Said this shit. This happened.
Like, this is crazy to see all in one shit. Like,
you know, then we learn that Drexel was dating this single mom with an underage daughter, and when she turned of age, Drexel took this girl's virginity. He was acting in a fatherly role to this girl. He took this little girl to Disneyland. Do you understand? Imagine acting as a stepfather, taking your stepdaughter to Disneyland, buying her the Mickey Mouse ears, buying her the churros or the ice cream or whatever the fuck you get at Disney, getting her the stuffed animal at Disney, and then just a few years later, you've tied her up in a BDSM dungeon and the shit out of her. That's what Drexel did.
For real.
That's what Drexel actually said that he did. In his own words.
And defended it on multiple streams.
And Nick Rekieta defended it on multiple occasions. Doubling down, that's part of the reason that the situation, the falling out with Josh happened.
Remember? He said, I wanted to keep her safe because, it could be with some other guy. It's like, bro, you were like her uncle, basically.
He was acting as her father. And that's the creepy part about it, man. She probably did call him daddy, both as a father figure and in the bedroom as well.
That's a submissive.
And that's dirty, man. That's dirty shit.
Can you believe that fucking shit? And this is somebody that's supposedly Catholic? I don't know who this fucking Drexel is. I've watched a couple of videos trying to figure out what's going on. This is all new to me. I don't know who the fuck I guess Nick has been siding with fucking people that are okay with child predators or child pedophilia. One of his little dipshit friends is fans of that fucking Cuties movie. Why Nick would defend that, I don't know. But here again, Nick was like, I think all the producers should be put up against the wall and shot. But then he puts out a fucking tweet or whatever saying that under whatever amendment, it's not illegal. I don't get it. And now this Drexel dude apparently has been on different shows, YouTube shows, podcasts saying, yeah, I did that. And how fucked up is that? I seen him on a LawTube show the other night. It was 3 or 4 attorneys, and this Drexel was on there explaining what happened. And I would have been like, man, fuck you. You are a child predator. You're in the stepfather role, and you're going to do that shit. You're no different than a teacher. Or even, in case you don't know, if you're in an authority figure role, even into college, you cannot legally have sex with a student. these lawyers should know this shit. They should have called him out. They would have been like, whoa, buddy, you are definitely a child predator. And I don't even want to tell you what he did. If you're interested, you can go down this rekieta law tube bullshit, and it gets so fucking deep.